The Cleveland kidnapping survivors. 3 women vanish for a decade. One brave escape changes everything. For more than 10 years, a small house on Seymour Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio, stood quietly among others just like it. Cars passed. Neighbors waved. Children played outside. Nothing about the house suggested horror. But behind its doors, 3 women were trapped inside a nightmare, one that would remain hidden for over a decade. They were not runaways. They were not forgotten. They were stolen. And it would take one moment of courage, one scream, and one unlocked door to bring the truth into the light. This is the story of the Cleveland kidnapping survivors, and how bravery and timing ended one of America's darkest captivity cases. In August 2002, 21-year-old Michelle Knight vanished. Michelle had a difficult life. She had grown up in foster care, struggled with stability, and was walking near downtown Cleveland when she disappeared. Because of her background, her disappearance did not receive immediate national attention. There was no Amber Alert, no massive search, no media frenzy. Michelle vanished quietly. 1 year later, in April 2003, Amanda Berry, age 16, disappeared after leaving her shift at a fast food restaurant. Amanda was close with her family. She was responsible. She called her sister every day. The night she disappeared, she never made that call. Her mother, Lawana Miller, searched relentlessly, appearing on television, posting flyers, begging for answers. But Amanda was gone. In April 2004, Gina DeJesus, just 14 years old, disappeared while walking home from school. Her family was devastated. Her face joined missing person posters across the city. 3 women, 3 disappearances, 1 city. But no one realized yet that the cases were connected. The man responsible was Ariel Castro. To neighbors, he seemed ordinary. He was a bus driver, a musician, a man who hosted barbecues. He lived alone in a modest house. No one suspected that inside, he was holding 3 women captive. Castro lured each woman separately, offering rides or help, exploiting trust, vulnerability, and youth. Once inside the house, escape became nearly impossible. The women were held in separate rooms, often chained. They were isolated, controlled, threatened. Castro used physical force, psychological manipulation, and constant fear to maintain control. He told them, police would never believe them. No one was looking anymore. Escape would mean death. Over time, the outside world faded. Days blurred into weeks. Weeks into years. One of the most chilling aspects of this case is how close the women were to freedom, and how often they were almost discovered. Neighbors lived nearby. Children played outside. Music came from the house. Yet no one saw what was happening inside. The women learned to be silent. Survival meant obedience. Resistance meant punishment. And so they endured. Despite being kept apart, the women formed a bond. They communicated when they could. They comforted one another. They shared hope. When Amanda Berry became pregnant, the situation changed. Castro allowed her to give birth inside the house. A baby girl was born in captivity. That child would become a reason to survive. Years went by. Missing person cases grew cold. Investigators ran out of leads. Some believed the women were dead. But inside the house, life continued, measured not in freedom, but endurance. Michelle Knight later said she believed her purpose was to stay alive so the others could survive. Hope did not disappear. It waited. On May 6, 2013, Ariel Castro left the house. This time, something was different. One of the interior doors was unlocked. Amanda Berry saw her chance. She ran to the front door, but it was locked from the outside. She began screaming, pounding, yelling for help. A neighbor, Charles Ramsey, heard the noise. He came to the door. Through a crack, he saw Amanda and a child. She cried out, "Help me! I've been kidnapped." Ramsey helped break the door open. Amanda ran free for the first time in 10 years. She called 911. Her words stunned the dispatcher. "I'm Amanda Berry. I've been missing for 10 years." Police rushed to the house. Inside, they found Gina DeJesus and Michelle Knight. Alive. 3 women walked out of that house into the sunlight, changed forever, but alive. The nightmare was over. Ariel Castro was arrested that same day. Evidence inside the house confirmed years of captivity. The city of Cleveland was stunned. The nation watched in disbelief. A monster had lived in plain sight. Castro was charged with hundreds of counts, including kidnapping, assault, unlawful imprisonment. In 2013, he pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus additional years. He would never walk free again. Freedom did not mean healing was instant. The women faced trauma, public attention, learning how to live again. But they reclaimed their names. They reclaimed their voices. They reclaimed their lives. Amanda Berry became an advocate for missing persons. Gina DeJesus spoke openly about survival and recovery. Michelle Knight, who later changed her name to Lily Rose Lee, wrote about resilience, forgiveness, and rebuilding. They were no longer victims trapped in silence. They were survivors. The Cleveland kidnapping case forces difficult questions. How many warning signs were missed? How many assumptions silenced action? How many victims disappear quietly? But it also delivers a powerful truth. Courage can exist even after years of darkness. Freedom can arrive when hope feels impossible. And sometimes, one unlocked door is all it takes. This was the Cleveland kidnapping survivors. A story of endurance, of courage, of voices that refused to disappear. If you want more true crime stories told with care, clarity, and respect, subscribe to Mystery Grid. Because every story is a puzzle, and some puzzles remind us what survival truly means.